topic of my today's presentation is description of acoustic vowel space of Marathi. In order to define the acoustic vowel space of Marathi, the study usually used to set up an imaginary vowel space and define vowels by their position in vowel quadrilateral. Vowel space area refers to the two-dimensional area bounded by lines connecting first and second formant frequency coordinates of the vowels. One common assumption is that first formant of the vowel is inversely correlated with the tongue height, while the second formant of the vowel is inversely proportional to the tongue backness. So here we can say that F1 is related to tongue height and F2 is related to tongue backness. So the objective of this presentation is to explore the acoustic vowel space of the vowels of standard Marathi, to attest the number of vowels previously claimed in the literature of Marathi, to examine contrast overlap of vowels, to identify male and female distinction in the production of vowels, to correlate between the articulatory and acoustic vowel space in standard Marathi. So here is a literature review of Marathi phonetics. Some of the important studies in Marathi phonetics as far as acoustic and acoustic and articulatory point of view. So, but not much research has been done specifically in the field of acoustic vowel space of Marathi. So we will see Marathi vowel inventory. Marathi has 6 vowel system: E, A, U, O. In addition to these 6 vowels, 2 borrowed vowels A and O have been added, taken into consideration for delineating the vowel space. Marathi vowel inventory is constructed with the primary reference to Dhongde and Wali, though their analysis of the vowels of Marathi is same as found elsewhere, as in Ghatke and RD, whose analysis of Marathi vowels align with Dhongde and Wali. In comparison of Pandri Pandey with Dhongde and Wali, we observe the discussion between O and A as being one quality, not length. Means these two vowels are monophthongs, separate monophthongs. They differ in the quality, not in the length. So this is the vowel chart of Marathi. So front vowel, central vowel, back vowel. So basic terminology, as we discussed, that F1 and F2. So we will see formant is the concentration of acoustic energy around particular frequency in speech wave. F1 is frequency of first formant, mostly determined by height of tongue, and F2 is the frequency of second formant, mostly determined by the frontness and backness of the tongue body. So as far as this research is concerned, methodology plays a vital role. So as far as selection of speaker is concerned, I have taken 14 speakers, 7 males and 7 females, age ranging from 20 years to 25 years. Medium of education of all speakers is graduate. Minimum education is graduate. Medium of instruction in the school up to 7th standard is Marathi. Mother tongue, of course, Marathi. Languages spoken primarily Marathi plus or Marathi and other languages. Primary language of communication at home Marathi. Place of birth Marathi. Place grew of Marathi. Place of birth Pune. Place grew of Pune. City of residence Pune. So as I mentioned, there are 14 speakers. So 7 males and 7 females from M001 to M007, F001 to F007. Mean age of all speaker is 22 years. So as far as recording part is concerned, I have prepared the word list. With the help of those words, I prepared carrier phrases and sentences. These sentences, words and carrier phrases were printed on the postcard size cards and shown it to the speaker during the data collection. So these are 8 words irrespective of those 8 vowels. So one thing has been taken into consideration that while forming the words, it has been formed in CVC format, where the consonant is stop consonant, stop and voiceless. So we can see that pot, part, pit, coot, pet, pot, cat, cot. So these are 8 words formed in CVC format with the help of those 8 vowels. Here are 8 carrier phrases. For males and females, it will be separate sets. मी पट म्हणालो, मी पट म्हणाले, मी पाठ म्हणालो, मी पीठ म्हणालो, मी कूट म्हणालो, मी पेट म्हणालो, मी पोट म्हणालो, मी कॅट म्हणालो, मी कॉट म्हणालो. So these are 8 carrier phrases. So we'll see the sentence list. शाळेचा पट किती आहे? हा पाट लाकडी आहे. हे बाजरीचे पीठ आहे. दाण्याचा कूट कर. रविवार पेठ प्रसिद्ध आहे, अजयचे पोट मोठे आहे, टेबलवर कॅट आहे. हिअर कॅट मीन्स डेक ऑफ कार्ड्स. इथे कॉट आहे. Recording prerequisite. As far as recording environment is concerned, I have preferred the room with quiet surrounding and I use Zoom H4n recorder for the recording. The following thing has been taken care during the production: proper sanitization, distance between microphone of the recorder and speaker, kept microphone out of the airstream, recording files format is WAV file, sampling frequency and other important things. So we will see the recording procedure. First of all, ensure the sanitization considering the pandemic situation. Introduce the recording material and procedure to the speaker. Consent regarding data recording has been taken from the speaker. Copyright permission to use and distribute audio recording for non-commercial use obtained from the speaker. Warm-up data has been provided to the subject, that is speaker, before recording in the form of informal discussion. Data has been shown to the subject on printed postcard size sheets in 8 sets and same has been repeated in 3 iterations. Different sets have been prepared for male and female speakers. As we see, मी पट म्हणालो, मी पट म्हणाले. Initially, there were 14 sound files for 14 speakers, that is M1 to M7 and F001 to F007. Total sentences, words in isolation and carrier phrases recorded per subject are 72. Hence, the total number of tokens per vowel are 126. Total tokens for all vowels are 1008. So here I have marked code for each vowel for scripting convention. So for each vowel I have given a code in Roman script. As far as annotation is concerned, I have used the sentence, S for sentence, I for word in isolation and C for carrier phrase. So there will be 8 vowels and there will be 3 iterations of each sentence, each carrier phrase and each word in isolation. As far as analysis is concerned, the sound file of the respective speaker has been opened in Pratt software. Each file has been assigned the tiers and annotated to the text grid. Segmentation has been done using Pratt script. The data has been analyzed acoustically by measuring primarily F1 and F2 along with other acoustic parameters like duration, F0, F3, etc. Format values extracted at midpoint of the vowels along with 20% midpoint of the vowel using the Pratt script. Normalization of the vowels has been performed using level normalization method to eliminate speaker-specific differences. Graph has been plotted using normalized values of F1 and F2. So we will see the distribution of Marathi vowels using the graph plotted with the values of normalized F2 and F1. So this is the distribution of Marathi vowels for male. So we can see the distribution of the vowels in acoustic vowel space. So we will see same distribution for female as well, and we will compare the distribution for male and female. So this is the distribution of Marathi vowels for female. So we can see the vowels are more distinct, while here the vowel space, I can say that acoustic vowel space of the vowels is in overlapping condition as far as distribution of Marathi vowels for females are concerned. We can see the vowels are more distinct in male as compared to in females. So here we can compare the distribution of Marathi vowels for male and females. So we can say that vowels are more distinct in male as compared to female, and one more thing we can observe that vowels are properly aligned in male as compared to the female. So we will see the combined data, that acoustic vowel space of Marathi vowel. So from this graph of normalized F2 and F1, we can see that front vowel E and A are more distinct as compared to the back vowels U and O, that central vowel has been found to be back. So, based on these observations, we will summarize these observations in summary of observations. Acoustic space of the back vowels U, U and O observed to be in an overlapping relation, while front vowels E and A shows more contrast. Central vowel are found to be more back. The four remaining vowels A, and O are much more distinct than pair of U and O and E and A. Marathi has 6 plus 2 vowel system. This finding of number of vowels of Marathi confirm with the previously claimed number of vowels in the literature of Marathi. Sorry. Distribution of vowels is more distinct in male than female. Acoustic vowel space for the females is larger than those of males. The quadrilateral of articulatory vowel space does not exactly align with the acoustic vowel space sorry, as there is difference in position of vowels as mentioned in first three observations that central are found to be back, front A, you can see from this graph, front A found to be little bit back. So we can say that quadrilateral of articulatory vowel space does not exactly align with the acoustic vowel space as there is difference in position of vowels as mentioned in first three observations. In contrast to Pandey and in concurrence with Dongde and Wali, we confirm the distribution of O and R as being of own quality, not length. So here I would like to acknowledge the guidance. That special thanks to Professor Sonal Kulkarni Doshi, respected head of the Department of Linguistics, Deccan College, for her guidance during this research. Also, I would like to thank Dr. Amlesh Gop for his guidance regarding Pratt scripting during workshop on laboratory phonetics and phonology organized by Central Institute of Indian Languages, Mysore. Thanks to Dr. Prem Kusarna for his guidance during workshop on acoustic phonetics for Indian languages organized by Mumbai University. Here are some references. Thank you. Your comments, suggestions, questions will help me. Please discuss.
I have a few suggestions for you, Satishji. You have taken only one, context, that is BLS, voice clear stop on the onset position, target vowel, voice clear stop, right? So it's like on the onset position, it is either po or ko. In the coda position, you have either to or po or ko. That's what I saw. And the data set, right? Yeah. And then I didn't understand actually what did you mean by the acoustic measurements were taken at the 20% of the vowel midpoint. Generally, if you are looking for the acoustic space, you should take the measurement either in the steady state region, that is the mid part of the vowel, or you can.
Yeah, I have taken the both way, actually 20% midpoint as well as mean thing.
I didn't understand what do you mean by 20% of the midpoint actually.
20% midpoint means it will go 10% left to right, so it will be 20% midpoint, and mean it will consider the entire segment and will take to the mean of that.
So how many regions were there? Because your data shows only one points representation. If you have taken at 3 different regions, you should also check all the different regions. Secondly, what you can do actually, what I would suggest you to do actually, you can, because you are looking at the space, right? So what you can do basically, you can actually measure at every 10% or every 20% of the total thing. So you have 5 measuring points, including the mid portion. Okay, and I don't know. I mean, how you started the onset, the offset of the vowel. Like right after where the consonant ends, and then the vowel starts, and also where the vowel ends and the consonant starts. So junctures are also important when you do the percentage wise thing. Point number one. Then point number two, you should also check the difference between each vowel type. So the difference between E and A, E and R, and so on. This is called DIJ. Okay, distance between vowel X and vowel Y. So you can just do it with a simple logarithm. With the value that you have got, with that itself you can, it's just a mathematical calculations that will tell you which are the vowel pairs which are likely to be confused or likely to be much more closer, where the distance is less. That you can actually measure from the first and second formants value itself. All right. Since you have certain you mentioned two central vowels, right? So I would also suggest you, when you use Lavanav's this normalizing method, include the third formats value as well, and and go for also ask it to provide you the ellipses. Ellipses are basically the standard deviation, so you can see the overlapping thing, right? You can see the overlapping thing. I believe you have actually considered the Hertz formants values, right? You didn't convert it into mel. So for the DIJ, the distance between vowel X and vowel Y, you can actually convert the Hertz values into format, just like in incorporating a two-line steps in the part scripting, and then that will also give you the mel values. Okay. So average standard deviation was something that you need to check, and then what you are actually able to see from the part plotting, the level of plotting. No, this might not give you a clearer picture. What you have to do actually, possibly, you need to do a modeling, a statistical modeling possibly. You have lots of data, you can do it easily. Okay, you can write to me, I can give you the detailed comments on those things. Right? Yeah. So these are some of my observations that I think I thought of telling you instantly. I understand that it might not be possible to do a second round of research. Otherwise, ideally, I would have asked you to look for different combinations as well. The idealized structure is a voiceless onset, title vowel, and a voiced coda. That's the idealized structure. So in your case, you have a voiceless coda. Anyway, from there also you can draw the things. You just need to twist the data extraction parts, and then maybe you'll have to look at the statistical modeling part. That will give you the complete picture basically. What we are able to see, these are just the distribution of the way people have presented, right? The way they have produced. That's why you are not able to say concretely if these are really produced differently by the male and the female speakers. You see, there is some sort of overlapping. But then why these overlappings are happening, you don't have a clear-cut answer for that. Right? So if you actually address those few queries, possibly you will get the concrete answer, and your study will also be able to give you concrete results. Huh? All of the best.
Yeah, this is part of my PhD research, so I definitely will note all those points and will write to you as well.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
And
all the best.